Hey guys!
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the latest from Lorna. They released a new album, and this is the video that they released on the day that the album came out. Glenwood is the name of the song. If you guys watch my review, this made it to my top 3 favorite songs on the record, and I'm going to go as far as to say that this is perhaps my favorite song, not perhaps, it is my favorite song on the whole album, because I feel like it's the most unique, the most different song, the most out-of-the-box track that Lorna Shore has released, at least in this new Will Ramos era, perhaps even before. You ready to check this out?
Yeah.
All right.
Can we go back? take me
That was gonna be him. Yeah, I knew it. Wow. Okay, let's play this out.
This song is more about like just feeling like real and just being human, and I think there's a part of everybody when they like go through hard things and it's just easier to just turn away and just pretend that it's not happening, and you're like, okay, well, I don't like that, so fuck that, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And I think a part of me was that I wanted to come back here and make sure that no matter what, I didn't have regrets
actually his
at
dad?
any point in my life. I'm not like, shit, you know, I wish that I could have gotten closer to you again. Because in a way, I think we're very similar. And I think that's why we fought a lot also growing up, is because we're very similar. Because I'm very stubborn.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact.
Maybe you
God
forgot, but
damn.
I raised you.
Yeah. And you were stubborn as hell.
Never.
Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah.
That's
Spoken
not
like a
possible.
true stubborn person. Yeah.
Never
So you're
happened.
stubborn.
It's just that I was right. I was your dad.
Okay.
That's the problem.
All
okay?
right. And you know what, Dad? You kind of old now. So I'm over here and I'm
Who's
like,
old?
yeah. I'm like,
You crazy?
in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, I need to become, we need to make it right, because if I don't, I'm gonna regret this for the rest of my life. So I came back and I knocked on that door, and
here we are.
here we are.
Fuck.
Austin, he called me like the moment I left here,
Yeah.
and I just cried on the phone. I was just like, I just spoke to my dad, man. Like, I'm crying right now. I was like, I just called my dad. I haven't spoken to my dad in so long.
Big baby, just like when you were a kid. It's okay though. There's nothing to worry about.
Oh.
It's okay.
It was one of the most important moments of my life, I think. Thank you for being a part of this video.
Absolutely. It's
I
my-
love you.
I love you. It's my pleasure.
We did it.
We did it.
Easy
Very
peasy
good.
lemon squeezy, Dad. I knew we could do it.
We did it.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Well, they lived 20 minutes away, too, for that whole time.
Wow, man. That's some heavy shit. I knew the song. I mean,
That actually is kind of, that feels, obviously not for me, but for you, I feel like that's a little bit of a
can relate to
very
both.
relatable thing.
I can relate to both sides of the coin here.
To the regret, but also the...
No, even beyond. I mean, when I first heard this song, when I got the album for review, that's why I picked it as one of my top 3 songs. And before this video started, I had never watched this, so I didn't have any clue. But I said it that this is my favorite Lorna Shore song, not only from the album, but period.
No, I think it is.
I
my
think it's their
favorite.
best song
But I think,
ever.
you know what? It's their most. It's their most emotional song, and I feel like their emotional songs are their best songs.
In proving to me,
You
and I
don't
hate
need
to
a-
harp on this, proving to me you don't need a breakdown to have a great song. That guitar solo brought so much emotion to the forefront. And that's exactly what you need
You get the
sometimes.
same
You don't
emotion that you
need
get vocally too.
exactly, and you don't always need a breakdown to convey anger or whatever attitude or whatever it is that you want to convey. Sometimes a well placed, well played, well executed guitar solo will do 1,000 times what a breakdown can do.
Funny enough, this whole song felt like this whole
It's like
song
a ballad.
You know what this song feels like?
It's
This,
like
the
a-
song is the song equivalent of the end of Pain Remains, the first one,
Yeah.
where he goes like, a world without you isn't meant for me, like that part where it gets really emotional and just like
Yeah, yeah. But this is the whole song.
this is the whole song.
Yeah,
And that is actually my favorite part of that song. That's why this one for me is like it's my favorite Lorna Shore song.
Favorite Lorna Shore song, not just because of the topic of the
And
song.
not only Will Ramos here. I mean, this is my favorite
No,
Lorna Shore
period.
song. Period.
Period.
Yeah.
Not just because of the story behind it, but just how well executed the song is. It's a great fucking song. Regardless of what genre of metal you're looking at, this song checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
All the fucking boxes. I don't care if you're not a deathcore fan. I don't care if you're not a Lorna Shore fan. You play this song to anybody with a pulse, and like
Tears
it's
are shedding, man. Tears are shedding.
for
Especially
me,
when
I'm in a place in my life where I'm a father and I'm my dad passed away, but I'm a son.
yeah,
So I'm a son and I'm a father of a son. You know what I mean? So
Uhtred, son of Uhtred, father of Uhtred.
yeah, it's different if you have a daughter, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I feel like there's a little bit more of a passing of a legacy and passing of a baton when you're a man and you have a son. And this song to me, while I was not estranged from my father, and I love my father very much, I moved away from my family when I was 17. I moved to another country when I was 17 by myself with no family, no parents, really no support that you could say. And obviously that was a choice of mine. It was not like I
Yeah.
was pushed to do that, but it was a choice of mine because I really wanted to push myself and perhaps be in an uncomfortable place versus living a life that was a life of comfort. I pushed myself to live an uncomfortable life because I really wanted to experience life. I wanted to experience what it was to be without, necessarily a net like holding you underneath. Even though my parents were still there for me and they helped me financially and all of this stuff, emotionally they were not there. I mean, I cannot describe how it feels to be on a Christmas Eve in an apartment with nobody, by yourself. Like it's like as depressing. I mean, for me was.
I was
fucking
gonna say
depressing.
there are a lot of people that are definitely.
No, I'm sure there's people that can relate. And I'm sure there's people that have even worse stories than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out my mother, as I was finishing college, my mother was going through breast cancer, and I wasn't there because she's in a different country and I'm here. So we've all. I'm not saying that my plight is worse or better, or we all have gone through things in our life, and I'm getting to the point. We all have gone through things in our life that have tested our character. And what I can tell you guys is, I was Will Ramos at one point. I felt like my parents were stubborn. I went 1 year without talking to my mom and my dad because of an argument that we had.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's why it should more correlate with you. 'Cause
Yeah.
you went that year without talking to them, and then you made it right. And
I made it right begrudgingly. Your mother played a huge role in me making it right, but I played it right begrudgingly because as Will, I felt like I'm stubborn. I know I am. I was more then than I am now, but I felt like I was right. I felt like they were wrong. And because I was right, I felt like I'm not the one that needs to take that first step. They need to take that first step because I'm right and they're wrong. And for 1 year, neither one of us took that first step. I don't think they took that first step because they were coming from the same place as Will's dad, which I'm the dad, so I'm right.
yeah.
And I wasn't taking the first step because it was my ego at play that I feel like I'm right and you wrong me and I'm not going to take that first step. So I don't know what pushed Will to take that step to go and knock on the door. For me, it was your mother that pushed me to take that step and pick up the phone and call them. And for as wrong as I felt that they had done me, I felt that, it's not worth not having that relationship because at the end of the day, I felt that one day, or your mother made me feel that one day you might do the same to your son, or you might have the same, like, things tend to happen without you, sometimes you even realizing. and sometimes you just have to let bygones be bygones, because people in certain times, in certain periods, with certain things happening, they will do things, and you cannot necessarily hold those things against them forever.
Yeah.
Forever, and then miss out on a relationship, miss out on things like don't sweat the small stuff is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes don't even sweat the big stuff. It's just really not worth it. Pick your battles, and know exactly how to is a difficult thing to navigate, because like I said, when you're young, you think you're in the right all the time, and when you're old, you think you're in the right all the time because of the age that you have has given you the knowledge and the wisdom. And I think the biggest wisdom that I took from that whole experience was that I'm not always right. I don't always know everything, and I always come into a conversation now with anybody with the mindset that, hey, I might learn something new from this discussion, and I'm not just right because I'm your dad. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, and they were not right because they were my parents. There's right and wrong.
Yeah.
We have to find a middle ground.
Also, sometimes you just gotta take the L and shit.
Sometimes you just gotta take the L. Sometimes
you know what's funny? That's funny how you and mom are quite stubborn. Yeah, I didn't really get much of that because I don't see myself as that stubborn compared to you guys.
Oh, really?
I'm also very non-confrontational when it comes to like people.
That you get from your mother. I was more like
especially like relationships I've been in and whatever.
Like
if there's a disagreement, I'm the first one to
dude.
Because in my head I'm like,
my parents. When we had that fallout, my parents didn't kick me out of the house. I kicked them out of the...
Oh.
No, I kicked them out of my house.
I thought you kicked yourself out of the house.
No, because I was like, you guys are in my house, and the argument and whatever, you guys are in my house disrespecting me. I pay the bills here. So get the fuck out. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Dang.
So, and then looking back, it's like, okay, I felt that they wronged me, but did they really?
And was it a true reason to?
And is it even worth it?
Exactly.
Like one day, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, are we even going to remember what the argument was about? Is it even worth it?
And that's how I see. Like I was saying, like in past relationships and whatever, whenever there was.
But he was like 20-some odd years.
Yeah, but he also lived 20 minutes away too. Like,
was it 20-some odd years or 15 years?
Whatever
the amount. It was a big amount.
It said 20 because he lived 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So he lived 20 minutes away from him, but you just never talked to him.
Let me go back and see.
Well, you want to see the time skip?
Yeah. 10 years.
Yeah, but he lived 20 minutes away.
I know.
That's crazy. It's like in the almost the same neighborhood, like.
Same street.
Almost.
That's fucking crazy.
I was just saying, I'm surprised I didn't get that from you because I've seen also like in past relationships, when there's an argument, I'm normally, because I know I'm gonna have to be the first one to just be like, yeah, you were right. Even if I know I'm right, you take the L on shit. Because if you take the L on shit, is like then you think like a week later, fuck, we had that argument. But what was the relevance of that?
But when I can only speak for myself.
That's how I always see it. I always look at the bigger picture and things, and if in the bigger picture this argument is literally minuscule to either what I feel for the person or whatever, I'm willing to take the L on it because as long as things can be amends, I like peace in my villa. I hate shit.
I growing up when I was Will's age, even younger, for me was about being right.
Yeah.
If I know that I'm right. If I know that I have that on my side, fuck, I'm not taking the L for nobody. For nobody. That was
but you're
my
still
mind.
like that, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
You're still kind of like that.
I'm not like that at all, dude. I'm not like that at all.
We'll have like an argument or whatever, and he'll think he's right, and then I'll just drop out of it. I'll be like, "Fuck, you know what? Fine, you're right." And then I'll go downstairs and whatever. Then something will happen that disproves him, and then that's when I'll make a snarky remark, or maybe I won't say anything, and I'll just give him a look. But that's normally how it goes. I never fight for when we have an argument. I never fight to be.
We don't
right.
have that many arguments.
We don't really have many arguments.
We don't have many arguments.
But
I'm not the same person.
But when we do,
that I was back then. I've changed a lot.
Even back in the day.
You being around has changed me a lot.
True.
You know what I mean? So this channel has changed me a lot. You being around has changed me a lot. I'm not the person that I was 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. I'm just not. Everybody changes through time.
Yeah.
I mean, some people for the worst, some people for the better. I hope that that people around me think that I've changed for the better.
Yeah.
You know,
mean,
because
same.
that was me with everybody. With my brother, I would fight constantly.
Yeah.
Because he's also stubborn. And he's also like he's unwilling to take an L on anything, absolutely anything. So I've learned to take the L with him,
See, like that,
and just
you go.
on the inside knowing that I'm right.
Yeah.
And it's
of
just
course,
like, okay,
of course.
if it's gonna make him happy, let him think that he's
Exactly.
right. And,
It's not
and
worth
life
the
goes
fight.
on.
It's not. He's your brother, so it's not worth the fight.
Isn't it? No, it's not.
That's how, and that's how.
Because life is short.
And that's how I've been.
Life is short because you never know. Like 1 minute that person is here, the next minute the person is not here anymore. And then if you are estranged from that person, or if you had an argument with that person, the memories that you're going to be left with is the last words that you said to that person,
Yeah.
and the lack of time that you've spent together.
Exactly.
Nothing worse in life than living with regret.
Exactly.
And that is, to me, like living with
remember-
regret is far worse than living with an L that you know you didn't have.
And that's why I try not to live with regrets, especially when it comes to people. Like I'll always, even if, like I said in past relationship, even when the relationship ends, I always try to end it like, even if it's ending, I know that I can smooth things out so that in the end it's more amicable. I think especially ever since I do bouncing and stuff. I don't know if a lot of people know. I do like bouncing downtown, like security guard shit. And I've been followed before and like threatened to be killed and whatever. And I think ever since then, I mean even before then I was like this, but I think especially that moment, I've tried to live life with the least amount of regrets and the least amount of people hating my guts. Because I'd rather be remembered in like a good way if I go like that.
But dude, going back to this, if your mother wasn't around, if I was single, right?
Yeah.
I would have been Will Ramos.
You would.
I would have been 10, 15 years without talking to my parents.
Yeah.
Both my parents, not just my dad, both my parents. For something that my dad was not even at fault. It was really my mother.
He was just caught in the crossfire.
Yeah. So, because he didn't have my back. Because obviously he's not going to have my back. He's not going to go against his wife.
Yeah.
So, anyways. So, if I didn't have someone that said, hey, enough of this nonsense. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing? Is this even worth it?
There's
Do
no
you even
reason-
remember what the argument was
Exactly.
about?
And
Just
also,
fucking call them.
Life is too short to harp on things that in the moment may feel huge, but when you take an outer look at it, they're not that big.
No, exactly.
That's why you take the
And
L on
also,
some
you
shit.
cannot judge the. My takeaway from that was I judged what happened between me and my parents, and like I said, I would have been Will if it wasn't for someone pushing me. I would have been Will. So, for me, what I took from that was that I took what they did from a personal point of view, my personal point of view.
Yeah.
And then later, what I did was I took a step back and I looked at from their point of view on why did they do it, or perhaps why did they do it. And then once I start to look from that perspective, it wasn't as bad.
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't as bad. I really boiled with no water. It's a Portuguese saying, boiling with no water. I really boiled with no water. But that was my personality at the time. I would pick fights with everybody.
That's how
Everybody.
When I was a kid. When I was like little, that's how.
And I don't mean picking fights like physical fights. I mean like arguments with everybody. Because I always felt like I was on top of this soapbox. And as long as I'm right, I have righteousness with me, then fuck the world. You know what I mean? And I see a lot of people that doing now on social media, by the way. Which is, guys, don't. Just don't. Like, you don't own the truth, and you don't own the righteousness. You know, there's right and there's wrong, and sometimes the right thing to do is to turn a blind eye to the wrong and just forget about it. It's just not worth your time. Yeah. So anyhow, I find that social media is becoming super toxic from that perspective because everybody feels in the right.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of where I was at a point in time. And the same thing when it comes to that is that people have made up their minds about whatever it is. So you fighting with them to tell them how wrong they are and your point is the right point does absolutely nothing but drive everybody away.
All you can do is take the L and then hope maybe later.
Let time do its
thing, and they'll see that, you know, if you were wrong about it, then you're the one that's going to be enlightened through time.
And
but if they're the one that's wrong, they'll find out.
Yeah.
And they won't come to you and be like, you were right or whatever, but you'll notice.
And speaking of that, to finish off this video, my dad has passed away now. I mean, we were really close. Me and him were really close. And I don't have any regrets because, I mean, besides the regret of like 1 year without talking to them. But, you know.
It could have been longer if you
It could have been longer. It could have been way, way, way longer, let me tell you. But because I have some other relationships in my life that I haven't spoken to those people like in fucking 40 years. I'm exaggerating, but like in 30 years at least. Why? Because we both took that approach and there was nobody to kind of bring us together. So now like I just don't have a relationship with those people. So what I'm trying to say here is that with time, things tend to fix themselves. And I've had the opportunity when my dad was alive to tell them, I was right. You guys were wrong. And then they were like, yes, you were. We didn't see it back then. Now we do.
See?
You were right. And that only comes from you taking that first step and taking an L, even though you don't, even though it's not an L. But it's just what it is.
People call it being spineless, but it's not, because
it's picking your battles.
It's picking your battles in the end.
It's picking your battles. If you're gonna win the war,
do I really need to have this argument about?
No, and to win a war, like, you don't have to win every battle. You just have to win the key ones.
Yeah.
You don't have to win all of them.
You only have to win the battles that in your mind this is a
life-changing,
make or break
situation. Make or break, life-changing kind of stuff.
Like I said, do we really have to have an argument about what we're having for dinner tonight? No, we don't have to have this argument. You know what? You pick. We go.
My argument was not about what we were having for
dinner. No, but I'm using that as an example.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, man. This got way personal and got way emotional.
I mean, like, kind of
great shit here.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. I wonder if Glenwood is the name of the street.
Maybe.
Or the neighborhood or something like that. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hit us up in the comment section. What do you feel about this song? What do you feel about the theme? How does it hit you? Hit us up. We'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.